Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss something every master's and PhD student must know, the research synopsis. Many students get confused about what exactly a synopsis is and whether it should have results, discussion or not. Don't worry, I'll clear up all these doubts in this video. By the end, you will understand not just what a synopsis is, but also the sections you need, common mistakes to avoid, and few tips and tricks to make synopsis stand out. What is a synopsis? So basically, it is a short summary of your research work. It gives supervisors or examiners a quick idea about your research. Now, here is something very important. The word synopsis can mean the two different things depending on your university. First is pre-research synopsis or proposal. This is submitted before you start your research. It is like a research plan. So it does not include results, discussion or conclusion. Why? Because you haven't done the study yet. So basically, in other words, it's a research proposal. If you haven't, you can check out the video on my channel for that. Next is pre-submission synopsis. Now some universities ask for synopsis before submitting your final thesis. This is document you prepare after completing your research work, but before submitting your dissertation or thesis. This act like a mini thesis summary. So remember, proposal is the movie trailer before your shooting starts. Synopsis is the highlight reel after the movie is completed. Very important. Always follow your university's guideline because requirements may vary. When in doubt, check with your supervisors. Next is pre-submission synopsis. In short, is a comprehensive summary of your research. Unlike the proposal, which is a plan, the synopsis comes after you have already done your study, as I already told. It highlights your objectives, methods, results, discussion, and conclusion in a concise way. So examiners get a snapshot of your entire research project before they dive into your full dissertation. Why it is important? It helps your examiners and your university panel quickly understand what you have done. It shows whether your work is systematic, original, and ready for submission. You can think of it as a bridge between your research journey and your dissertation defense. Now let's break down the structure. Most universities follow a similar pattern, though you should always confirm with your institution guidelines. Every strong synopsis has some essential parts. Now you can think of it like a recipe. If you leave out one ingredient, the dish doesn't work. The synopsis usually starts with the title, then an introduction, background, followed by objectives, a brief literature review, methodology results discussion, conclusion and references, and sometimes appendices. Let's go through each section with examples and tips. Let's start with the title first. Keep it short, clear, and free from jargon. Example: instead of an in-depth investigation of parameters affecting CT imaging in patients, simply write optimizing CT image quality across body types. You can imagine explaining your research to a friend in one sentence. That is basically your title. So I have given the examples which I have been doing mainly in CT. Like since I'm in radiology field, I'm giving the examples related to it. I'll give you a more general examples later on. Next comes the introduction. It should be just 1 to 2 paragraphs. Explain the topic briefly and why it is important. For example, CT scans are widely used for diagnosis, but image quality can vary depending on the patient size. This study explores how body parameters affect image quality and ways to improve it. The trick is you can think of it as if you are explaining to someone outside your field. So if they can understand it, your introduction is clear enough. Next comes aims and objectives. So your objectives are the heart of your research. Keep them specific and measurable, not vague. Examples: to evaluate the effect of XYZ intervention on ABC outcomes in a specific population. Always start with two and keep it actionable. Next is literature review. So in literature review in a synopsis should be short, just the essentials. Highlight key past studies and then directly point out the gap your research is addressed. Unlike in a dissertation, you don't need 20 to 30 pages. 1 or 2 page is usually enough. Next is methodology. Methodology is your research backbone. Describe your study design. Was it experimental, observational, qualitative, or mixed methods? Mention the sample size, population, inclusion and exclusion criteria, and the data collection method you used. Also, add the statistical test or software applied for analysis, but keep it very concise. You can just answer 3 questions. What is your study design? Who are your participants or data, and how you will analyze it. Next is results. This one is the most important sections. Present only your key results, not every table or graph from your dissertation. So use a very few tables or charts to make it very clear. For example, group A showed a 25% improvement compared to group B with p-value less than 0.05. So make it very crisp but very impactful as well. Next is discussion. So in the discussion, explain what your findings mean. Compare them with the existing literature. Did they support or contradict the past studies? Emphasize what's new or original in your work. This section should show how your research contributes into the field. Next is conclusion. Your conclusion should summarize the key takeaway from your study in 2 to 3 sentences. Also mention the practical implications and the future research directions. For example, this study demonstrates that XYZ can significantly improve ABC outcomes, suggesting its adoption in clinical practice. Further studies with larger populations are needed. Next, so what are the main tips you can keep in mind while writing your synopsis? Keep it concise and focused. A synopsis is usually 10 to 20 pages, not as long as your final dissertations. Usually, use visual charts like graphs and charts to make your results stand out. Strictly follow your university's format and word limits. Proofread carefully to avoid errors. A clean synopsis should show professionalism. And most importantly, don't copy paste from your dissertation. You should summarize and refine it properly. So let me give you an example of pre-submission synopsis. So here is a simple example that shows the difference. Imagine a study on daily walking and stress reduction. So in the proposal you will write, this study will evaluate whether daily walking reduces stress among adults. It is just the plan of your study. So in the pre-submission synopsis, you will tell after completing your study, you would write, the study found that adults who walk 30 minutes daily had significantly reduced the stress scores which is P less than 0.05. This suggests walking is an effective low cost intervention. In the dissertation, you would provide all the details, full background, extensive literature review, methodology, every table and chart of results, discussion of mechanisms, limitation, references, and appendices. This shows how each document differs in the level of detail. Final advice. Like to wrap it up, I would say, remember that the synopsis is a mini version of your dissertation. It should give a clear and structured overview of your entire research, but formats may differ, so always follow your university specific rules. Don't forget, always follow your university specific rules. If you keep it concise, structured and visually clear, your synopsis will make an excellent impression on the examiners. Many Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you understand pre-submission synopsis better. If you have any questions or want me to cover other topics, drop down in the comments below. All the best for your research journey. Bye.